Most people have no idea that some of the most important clues about the future of the global economy are not found on Wall Street, in central bank press conferences, or even in government reports. They are buried deep underground, inside silver mines, inside energy supply chains, inside manufacturing plants, and increasingly inside the geopolitical struggles shaping the 21st century. For thousands of years, civilizations have risen and fallen. Empires have come and gone. Currencies have been created, devalued, and replaced. Entire financial systems have disappeared from history. Yet remarkably, only a handful of assets have maintained their value across nearly every era of human civilization. Gold is one, silver is another, and productive land is often considered the third. These are assets that have survived wars, debt crises, currency collapses, banking panics, technological revolutions, and political upheaval. Today, silver sits at the intersection of some of the most powerful forces in the global economy: rising government debt, persistent inflation pressures, the energy transition, artificial intelligence infrastructure, national security concerns, and growing geopolitical fragmentation. At first glance, silver appears to be just another commodity, but that assumption misses the bigger picture. Silver is simultaneously a monetary metal and an industrial metal. It serves as both a store of value and a critical component of modern technology. That dual role makes silver unique, and it may help explain why so many analysts, mining executives, and long-term investors are paying close attention to what could become silver's next major move. Here's what's really happening behind the headlines. Few people understand the chain reaction that could unfold if tightening supply meets rapidly expanding demand at the same time. And even fewer understand how historical patterns, debt cycles, energy transitions, and geopolitical tensions are beginning to converge around this often overlooked metal. In today's analysis, we'll examine 6 critical developments. We'll look at what's really happening in today's silver market. We'll explore the growing challenges facing global mine supply. We'll examine the powerful demand drivers emerging from technology, energy, and industry. We'll look back at historical periods when silver surprised investors. We'll discuss why governments, institutions, and sophisticated investors are watching precious metals closely. And finally, we'll explore what all of this could mean for ordinary people trying to protect their purchasing power in an increasingly uncertain world. Because while markets move every day, the forces shaping the next decade often develop quietly beneath the surface. And right now, silver may be telling a much larger story than most people realize. To understand where silver could be heading, we first need to understand what is actually happening today. Most headlines focus on short-term price movements. One day, silver rises because inflation data comes in hot. The next day, it falls because investors expect higher interest rates. Then attention shifts to geopolitical tensions, currency fluctuations, or economic growth concerns. But here's what most people don't realize. Price is only one part of the story. Think of the global economy like a machine. Every major industrial system depends on inputs: energy, raw materials, technology, transportation, manufacturing. When one component becomes constrained, effects ripple throughout the entire machine. Silver sits inside many of those critical systems. Solar panels require it. Advanced electronics require it. Data centers require it. Medical technologies require it. Military applications require it. Artificial intelligence infrastructure requires enormous amounts of electrical equipment that indirectly depends on silver's unique conductive properties. Yet despite this growing importance, silver often receives only a fraction of the attention given to gold, oil, or major stock indexes. Mainstream coverage tends to focus on daily price fluctuations rather than the structural trends developing underneath. And that may be where the real story is unfolding. If you're interested in understanding the forces shaping precious metals and the global economy, consider subscribing. I post videos like this regularly. Now let's look beneath the surface, because the supply side of the silver market may be one of the most misunderstood areas in the entire commodities sector. Imagine trying to fill a swimming pool while someone keeps turning off the hose. That's essentially what many mining companies face today. Finding new silver deposits is becoming increasingly difficult. Many of the world's largest mining districts have already been extensively explored. Ore grades in some regions have declined over time. That means miners often need to move and process significantly more rock just to produce the same amount of metal. At the same time, mining is highly energy intensive. Diesel fuel, electricity, heavy equipment, transportation, processing facilities all require substantial energy inputs. When energy costs rise, production costs often rise alongside them. Geopolitics adds another layer of complexity. Major silver-producing countries including Mexico, Peru, China, Russia, Chile, and Australia face varying degrees of political, regulatory, environmental, and logistical challenges. Permitting timelines have expanded in many jurisdictions. Environmental requirements have become more stringent. Local community negotiations can delay projects for years. Investors often underestimate how long it takes to bring new supply online. A new mine is not like opening a new retail store. It can require a decade or more of exploration, financing, permitting, construction, and infrastructure development before producing meaningful output. As a result, supply growth often struggles to respond quickly when demand accelerates, and that brings us to perhaps the most important side of the silver story: demand. Because silver is no longer just a precious metal, it is increasingly becoming a strategic industrial resource. Consider the global push toward electrification. Solar energy installations continue expanding across multiple continents. Silver plays a critical role in photovoltaic cells. Electric vehicles contain significantly more electronic components than traditional vehicles. Power grids require upgrades. Battery systems require supporting infrastructure. Data centers supporting artificial intelligence require vast electrical systems. Consumer electronics continue proliferating around the world. Defense technologies depend on advanced electronic components. Each of these trends may appear separate, but together they create a powerful demand foundation. This is one reason many analysts view silver differently today than they did 20 years ago. Historically, investment demand often dominated discussions. Today, industrial demand occupies an increasingly important role, and unlike many substitute materials, silver possesses unique conductivity and reliability characteristics that can be difficult to replace without sacrificing performance. If this analysis is helping you connect the dots, subscribe and join our growing community here at Precious Metals Alert, because understanding demand is only part of the puzzle. History provides another critical perspective. History rarely repeats perfectly, but it often rhymes. In the 1970s, inflation concerns pushed investors toward tangible assets. During the financial crisis of 2008, confidence in traditional financial institutions was tested. During the COVID-era disruptions, global supply chains revealed vulnerabilities few policymakers fully appreciated beforehand. Each period looked different. Each had unique causes, yet they shared a common characteristic. When uncertainty increases, markets often begin reassessing risk. Investors seek resilience. Businesses seek security of supply. Governments seek strategic resources. Silver has repeatedly found itself at the intersection of these dynamics, not because it is magical, not because it is guaranteed to rise, but because it occupies a unique position between industry and monetary history. That dual identity has allowed silver to play important roles during periods of economic transition for centuries. And today, the world may be entering another major transition period, one defined by debt, technology, energy transformation, and geopolitical competition.